has arrived in Charlotte. We are ready to fight.
They're classy too, man. I can wear this on a date.
People who are most successful are the ones who don't just give up.
Hey, how good are these to-go boxes?
Our to-go boxes, they're not good. They're f***ing amazing. How did we get started here at Albemarle Paper? Well, late 2008, my cousin John and I started this paper company, and we got all sorts of different products.
Hey, Nick, come on, man. Let's get to work.
You got cleaning products, too? You got a party this weekend? We got your back. Anything you need here at APS. Plates, napkins, silverware, table covers. We got everything covered, right, boys? What other items do we carry? Paper towels? I got it. Toilet paper? I got it. Gloves? We got you. Pizza boxes? You're probably wondering, where are we? Where's Albemarle Paper? Don't you worry about that. We got you. I'll bring the product to your door. See you guys.
This is the library. This is the library.
This is the library.
This is the library. Hello and welcome to another episode of the MLS Corner, the best corner in MLS. Boys, what a W that we just came off of. These are my favorite type of lives where we're not just coming on to talk about the drama, to talk about all this extra stuff. We're here to talk football. We're here to talk about Charlotte FC and the great game that they had this weekend. Lee, my man, how are you feeling after going to the library that is known as Mercedes-Benz?
It was brilliant, man. We had such a good day. So many people turned up, man. It was like at least over 1,000, man. And it was just from the moment I pulled up to the tailgate lot to jump on the bus to the moment I got dropped off at the tailgate lot to go home. It was just such a fun night, man. It was just thank you to everybody that showed up. Thank you to Ally Bank, right, for putting the bill basically for that. So yeah, man, it was just a good time. And if you didn't go and they give you an opportunity sometime this season to do it again, I highly recommend it.
Hey, I like that. That's what I like to hear. David, my man, I heard you rode with some really cool guys this weekend, bro. How was your weekend?
Hey, it was lit. You already know when we roll with Top Bid 90, it's always a good time, baby. Hey, it's even better when we get that win, too, man. We've been to D.C., we've been to Utah, and unfortunately we came short, but this time we got that dub, baby. It feels good. Feels real good.
People want to know, bro, when you dropping that Yeti Clan vlog, bro?
Hey, it'll be ready tonight or tomorrow morning. We'll see. We'll see.
Nice.
It's definitely going to go live tomorrow morning, though.
Say that again?
It'll go live tomorrow morning for sure.
Okay, nice. And Brian was so excited about the win that he decided to dip out of the live to go celebrate a little bit more.
That's
but
right.
He will be back here shortly. So just to talk a little bit about going into this match, to be honest with you guys, I truly wasn't that confident because of, first of all, our away form. And second, like how many injuries we had going into this. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it seemed like we were going to be out of center backs, but thankfully, Malanda was back. So I want to talk first about the lineup that we had. I mean, we obviously saw Swiderski go at the 9 because we were missing Enzo Copetti. We're also missing DJ, so we saw Bronico slot in the 6. We had Bender and Westwood right there in the midfield. Lindsey and Byrne as our fullbacks. Jan with another start. Kalina back. So first and foremost, and I'll start off with you, David. What were your thoughts on this lineup?
Hey, I liked it. I didn't know what to expect with that missing Copetti up top, but having that lineup out there was good. And I really liked seeing Bronico out there, man. Him dropping back, playing as that third center back. That was awesome to see this weekend. That was real good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Especially it was much needed when you saw Jan make those runs as well. So you saw him slot right back in there as well. Lima, man, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw what we can do without Copetti, right? I mean, it might have been a blessing in disguise
Come
that
on, bro. Why are you taking digs at Copetti already? He already blocked me.
he hasn't blocked me, so hopefully he's watching the show then, right? So, anyways, I was saying, like, I think it was good, right? That it was a blessing in disguise. Not that it was good, right? That we had Jones and Capetti out just to see what we could do. We got the win. I think Jan had a very solid game. Melanda definitely had a good game, and Kalina definitely. He showed up like Kalina does with the big blocks and the saves. But I feel like if Marks was in goal, he would have done the big block and then run down and beat everybody and scored. So,
okay, dang. Is this truly? Is Joshua putting you on blast?
No, I was picking up the waste in the land.
Nice. I like that. You know what? This is something I want to talk about too. That, to be honest, I didn't really believe Latanzio when he mentioned that this team was missing experience with guys like Kalina and guys like Westwood. But to be honest, I'm kind of seeing that more and more with this team, right? One, because we're able to hold out the wins, right? And two, because I think that leadership experience, we've been talking about it, and it's really needed. I honestly think seeing Kalina back there and Westwood in the lineup gives you that extra level of confidence in this team. Lee, do you agree with me or you disagree? And I want to hear from everybody in the comment section as well. Is having guys like Westwood and Kalina a leadership factor?
I mean, I agree about 95% of that, right? I mean, definitely. I mean, there's a couple of things. We didn't have any leaders on the field. Westwood came back. Maram, or whatever you pronounce his name, is in there, right? He's kind of more vocal and talkative too. Jaws, his game's picked up. So I wouldn't just say it's more about having, the players that Latanzio said was out that we needed back. I just think it's just the timing of it all. We've got everybody sort of back and ready to go all at the same time. I mean, regardless, as long as we keep putting the W's on and getting those 3 points, which is crazy that we're like tied for 6th by points wise in the league and still sitting like 12th.
Yeah, it is, man. That's like prime MLS, right? Like from 5th through 12th, everybody has the exact same points.
Yeah, and God forbid I try to like pump everybody up and like we're tied for 6th, and then it's like, no, we're sitting at 12th. I was like, I can read the league too, I'm just trying to tell you. Anyways. Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. And then David, talk to me about how good Justin Merrim has been to this squad. Obviously, everybody, I don't want to say everybody, but a good portion of the fan base doubted it. First, we were trying to get rid of Shinyashiki and bring him in. And people were like, why are we bringing in a 34-year-old player, And then after, we paid 200 GAM for him plus incentives. And you know what? It didn't seem, to be honest, to the fan base, it felt like an underwhelming signing, but he has proven to me, and I don't know about you, David, that he is definitely going to bring some experience and some quality to that winger role.
Yeah, we saw it this weekend. He puts himself in situations that other wingers that we have don't put themselves. He crashes the box like other wingers don't on our team, unfortunately. Like this weekend, what we saw when people put those crosses is maybe we have one person in the box and that's it. But this weekend, we saw 2-3 people crash in the box, and Merrim, most importantly, was there, calm, cool, poised, just like Charlotte put out on that post. He was there. And it takes a lot of skill and it's not just a tap in. He needed to focus on that cross to hit that into the goal.
Yeah.
That wasn't an easy goal.
No, hell no.
Yeah, for sure. Another player that we want to highlight as well is, unfortunately, another injury to him is Kamil Yazviak. I mean, anybody that was doubting him going into this season has to shut their mouth now. Honestly, this is what I was saying, right? I was like, we need to see the best Yazviak. Honestly, I was in that middle, but I was like, if he has to prove that he's a DP type of player with goals and assists, and you know what? He is doing it this season. Unfortunately, it looks like injuries are trying to catch up with him. But even in that first goal, right? Like the timing, or it might have been the third goal, the timing of when he tells Jalen Lindsey, he was like, stop, not yet, then makes the run, then Jalen gives him the pass. and then he crosses it in for Merrim. Like, I mean, it's good to see our other DPs start to produce, right? And in my opinion, right, when Copetti gets back, that's the front three I would like to see. Yazviak, Merrim, Copetti up top with Swiderski in that creative role. Lee, your thoughts on just Jaws in general, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of critical, at least with his play going forward. I never really doubted him defensively. I think he does well there. He's solid. Yeah, a lot of our goals, like, not to knock Gaines, but if Gaines was in that position that was making that cross in, I doubt that the ball would have gone where it went when Jaws has played it in. It's always gone to right in the right spot with the runners coming in. Even that third goal that we got in against Atlanta, right? He just kind of crossed it through, and bam, there was Merrim right there, right? So, props to Jaws, man. I think hopefully he'll be back. I don't know how bad his injury is. Will he be back for Nashville?
No, based on what Latanzio said, it could be a couple of weeks till we get him back.
No. So we got him when he was injured, and that's the thing. Like, how long are these injuries going to keep showing up for him, right?
Yeah. I gotta say though, Brian makes a good point. I mean, the ball Swiderski gave to Cambridge. Honestly, we're gonna let it slide because he's still young, but he's got to put stuff like that away.
Can that be excuse though? Because he's young, he does that for a living though. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
That was a sitter. That was a sitter right there. Bro.
I think anybody else, if Copetti, if Merrim was at the end of that would have won it.
What for sure.
We'll let it slide though, like you said. Let him slide, man.
Yeah,
we got the 3 points.
That would have just been the cherry on top right there.
Yeah.
For sure. This is a good question too. It sounds like Latanzio didn't see the attitude that he wanted from Diop coming in, right? And so to me, I think it was a little bit too harsh, right? I mean, he brought him in and he took him out. We're up 3-0, right? As soon as he takes him out, ironically, they score, right? But he mentioned that in the press conference after, because I asked him specifically about that. And he said he didn't bring the right attitude that he wanted coming from him. And I just want your guys' thoughts. I mean, like, it's a young player, first season in MLS. He could be killing this guy's confidence doing something like that.
I don't know. I mean, there's always that possibility, right? But I think Latanzio's smart enough and been around the game long enough to know that what he's doing is not really going to kill his confidence. I don't want to say career because he's so young, but I just think Latanzio's he's got enough. He's got enough years behind him to know how to handle a player in a situation.
That's a really good point. David, any thoughts on that?
I think if he has a true connection with Latanzio, he'll understand. He'll take that. He'll take that in, and he'll understand. Like, maybe I wasn't ready for that match, such a big rival match. Maybe he was a little nervous. We don't know.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, though, here's one thing that we know about Latanzio. This man is going to do what he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to try people in different positions. He's going to take people out. Like, it's very, very bold of him. Whatever issues he's had with Vinny Mello, even I asked him today, I was like, hey, listen, we're depleted in the front line, right? Like, you guys rated Vinny Mello very highly at the beginning of the season, right? Why is he not getting this opportunity? You're saying he's got to meet certain metrics. Is it on the field or is it off the field? And apparently his response was, that there's like certain physical measurements that he hasn't met yet, right? And his work on and off the ball is not, from what it sounds like, not good enough to what Latanzio wants, right? So this lets you know, like, this man is he's going to do what he wants to do, right? So, I mean, props to him when he gets it right, but if he gets it wrong, that's where the heat comes in.
Yeah, I mean, the heat's always going to come on the manager if he gets it wrong, right? I mean, if he gets it right, everybody loves him, wants to be best friends with him, take him out for a drink and celebrate, right? I mean, that's the problem with being the gaffer, right? You're either the man that everybody loves or the man everybody hates, or I guess at this moment it just means everybody's indifferent right now.
Yeah. What does that mean? I mean, I think maybe he just doesn't see him in shape enough and doesn't see the intensity that Latanzio wants in his forward line, right? You know, maybe his off the ball movement. I mean, that's where like when people like, I can't believe I'm still defending Enzo. Like when they criticize him so much, I'm like, look at his work off the ball as well. This is a typical Latanzio type of player.
But let's not forget though that round is a shape.
Yeah, and let's not forget that my favorite machine at the gym is the vending machine.
Yeah, that's right. Followed closely by the ATM machine.
Brian, your overall thoughts on this win at Atlanta? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I mean, I just one thing that really to me was how much. Am I still frozen?
Oh, not now.
Can you hear me? No, not now. All right, cool. Sorry, my wife and daughter killed all the Wi-Fi today. Oh man,
You're still there. Talk to us.
I'm gonna leave and come back.
All right.
All right.
That's what he gets for his 2nd year anniversary, man.
For real.
Yeah.
He's like, I've been at Top Ben for a year now. I could do
Yeah,
that.
that's it, man. Yep.
Yeah. This is a good point as well from Joshua. I think Lindsey had a great game as well, you know. I mean, in terms of right back, in my opinion, he needs to start in, week out. Now.
Lindsey's been solid, man. Like anytime he's played this year, he's been solid. I don't think we've lost a game that he's played in.
I don't know about all that, but yeah.
Oh, and this year I don't think we have.
As a starter, you mean?
Not so much as a starter. I'm just saying, well, maybe as a starter. I'm trying to think of a game that we lost that Lindsey started in. I don't think we have.
I think
Somebody fact check me on that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have. Because I've spoken with him after at least one loss.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Lee Hanna even agrees with me.
Yeah, because his name is Lee.
And that's close to my last name too, right? He just cut off.
Here we go. Joshua's our unofficial fact checker now. So any facts that we need to check, Joshua will come in from now on, right? And then I just want your guys' overall feeling. Talk to me about how it felt when we were down 3-0 at the bank to the feeling of going into Atlanta, being 3 up. The stadium is silent and all you can hear is Charlotte FC fans. Because from where I was looking at, I was like, bro, like I felt proud right now. Like I'm like chanting the songs low key because I'm in the press box and you really can't do that. But like I'm like, it was so enticing and like people there were like really shook. So David.
Yeah, man. It was the stadium was pumping, man. I mean, from like the march in all the way in. I mean, you know, when we were down 3-0 at home, that sucked, man. It was halftime, and then to see us come out with no changes and just instead of just ripping up the script and trying something different, he just stuck with it. But then, you know, going back to Atlanta and then doing what we did with the amount of fans that showed up and the atmosphere there and how everybody was, and it just, I don't know, we like the whole day just felt uplifting, right? It was just everybody was just in a good mood. It was just one of those days where like nothing could go wrong for you know, except when we tried to go into the Atlanta United tailgate and we followed Michael Gilmore all around Atlanta.
For real,
trying to find that place, man.
If you ever need somebody to lead you somewhere, do not go with Michael Gallimore.
We walked. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even wear my Apple Watch, and then I got home and it told me my rings were complete. You know, so that's how far out we were. But other than that, man, the day was solid, man. You know, like walking into the stadium, riding the escalator up, man, and then up again. And it's just like, it was just nothing but Charlotte FC fans. And the look on the Atlanta fans as we were approaching that stadium was, they just knew that we were coming. And thank God we won, man. But it was just, I wish I could relive that day again, to be honest with you.
Dang. It was that good. David, talk to me about your weekend, bro.
Man, my weekend was awesome, dude. Being with the support, I was with the supporters all the way up until we got into the stadium, and it was time for them to go to their section because I had tickets on the opposite side of the corner flag on the lower bowl, and like it was just awesome from the very beginning to the very end, hearing Charlotte like all through the stadium. Like we were overwhelming their supporter section. Like there wasn't a supporter section for them. We were the supporter section there.
I was surprised how empty their stadium was, to be honest with you, too, especially as it being a big rivalry.
What they're coming off of bad form, so
yeah, but still, I mean, even their supporter section wasn't packed out.
No, that supporter section was sad, to be honest.
Yeah, it was sad. They didn't have no tifo for us or anything, man. Whatevs. They already knew. They came in with their tail between their legs before they even, they woke up and said, man, let's just get the shit over with.
They weren't ready.
Yes, yeah, both up and down were awesome for sure.
Yeah, man. I also think it helps, fuel a rivalry, right? Because I mean, like, I guess like coming to Charlotte, winning 3-0, being up 3-0 by halftime, like you're like, are we really gonna take these guys seriously? But when we go to your house, we're winning in a dominant fashion, right? Like you hear the supporter section. If I'm an Atlanta fan, that's gotta burn.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're 2 for 2 now against Atlanta, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's like they've beat us once, we beat them. They beat us away last year. We beat them at home. This year they beat us at home, and we beat them away. So like it's right there. It's pretty on par, which I like that. Brian, are you good now?
Yeah, I think so. I took out there was an extender
on?
that was plugged in the wall. Huh?
Hey.
So what are you doing with that cat filter on?
He's joking.
I swear this isn't my real face.
Right. And then speaking of that, Charlotte FC have a chance to make club history. So you're right on time, Brian. Talk to us about how Charlotte can hit club history for the first time in these next couple of games.
Yeah, so they've won 3 on the trot. So if they win against Chicago, this would be the first time they've ever won 4 in a row. And then this would be the first time they've won 5 in a row at home. So they've got 2 ways they can make club history on Wednesday, both with a new home streak and an overall streak. So they've got double the opportunity to break a record this weekend.
Are you counting the home games at the Sportsplex as well?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm 10 homes, right? I mean, so we've got a 4-game. We could put an asterisk. I'm down for a record.
Nice. Listen, there's 3 ways you can guarantee Charlotte FC gets a win. 1, we play at the Sportsplex. 2, we play with the football lines. Or 3, we play NYCFC. So
that is true, actually.
That's fact.
Yeah.
That's true.
Nothing but facts right here. Nothing but facts. But all right, cool. Moving on. Let's talk a little bit about the game we've got coming up against Chicago Fire, right? Honestly, this is where the real test starts to come, right? One of the things that we saw last year, there was like a period of 5 winnable games that Charlotte FC had that they didn't do enough to get the necessary points. Then we went into the last 5 stretch, which we were all like, it's probably not going to happen, right? And we saw the team come to life and barely miss out, right? So in my opinion, this win against Atlanta becomes less and less valuable if we don't get at least 4 points out of these next 2 games, right? Chicago to me is a winnable game. Nashville is a little bit more difficult. You could still win because you're at home, but the point is that you have to make these next 2 home games count, right? Especially given how tight the schedule is, right? So Brian, talk to me a little bit about Chicago, right? A team that's coming off of beating St. Louis, I think 1-0 this weekend, right? They're also in a semi-upward trajectory.
Yeah, they're in a kind of interesting situation. So they just beat St. Louis twice in a row. They knocked them out of the U.S. Open Cup, and then they played them in MLS again in the same week. They all fired their coach, Ezra. So they're kind of in the middle of like a new coach bump right now. Gotten two results, but the same time kind of lackluster in some ways in terms of their season has overall been pretty. So this is absolutely a winnable game. I think honestly, in a lot of ways, it's got to be a must-win game. These are the teams they need to be beating at home for sure. They do have Shaqiri back playing at the 10 where he should be playing. So that could be a serious threat. They hadn't been playing him there. They've been playing him kind of on the wing and letting Gutierrez, the young kid, playing in the middle. So they definitely, now that Shaqiri's back playing in like the role they anticipated him playing in, I think that is, obviously their biggest threat. Also, Kai Kamara up top is extremely dangerous and especially at set pieces in the box as a target man. We've been pretty weak on crossing and just defending against crosses and set pieces. So manning up against Kai Kamara is also, I think, a key. So
nice.
Yeah, I'd say, man, that set pieces have been terrible. Like defending them.
Yeah.
We were lucky. We could have been 3-2 when we left Atlanta, man. They hit the post and then they scored the exact same set piece sort of set up on that corner.
Yeah. They hit post and 5 minutes later they score on us.
Yeah. It's like we already knew what you were going to do when we let you do it again.
For sure. One of the things that could be a potential issue, David, with games coming so thick and fast, with the intensity that this team is playing with as well, like I think that also contributes to us having so many injuries as well. The way these guys train, the way we want to play, right? Like, do you see this team maybe potentially burning out, especially because they're going through a stretch of 7 games in less than 30 days?
I don't think so, because we see a good rotation of players with Latanzio picking different players every week in, week out, because we don't always see the same 11 with him. So I think he does good rotating players when seeing that somebody's not doing so well or somebody's gassing up a little bit. Maybe not within games, because before we've criticized him like, hey, the sub needs to come in sooner or he does it later than sooner. But I feel like he does a good job rotating players within to keep them in form.
I like that. Lee, talk to me, given so many injuries as well, right, to this team, right? Also with the scandals of we're not counting on Nuno and Andre anymore, right? So depleted up top now. Yazviak will be missing. It sounds like Vargas, he mentioned, won't be playing as well this week, right? Like, are you concerned a little bit about how we can go into this game?
Not so much this game. To be fair, right? The entire MLS is dealing with the same thing. It's not us. And I think the problem with the MLS is the depth issue, regardless of what team you are, right? Obviously, on the surface, it looks like we're going to struggle. To some of the comments in here, again, I feel like the suspension for Enzo and Jones was kind of a blessing in disguise for us this week, right? We plugged those guys straight in. It's just a matter of it's really going to – on luck on injuries is going to be the key in which positions, right? We struggled. Our defensive center backs have really just beat the hell up. And then, again, there are some other comments that I agree with in here about, the ability to pick up some players from the legacy, bring some of those guys up, if nothing else, to have put on the bench. But, that's what these guys are here for. Those young guys are also here to break out, right, and prove themselves. Just because they're 20, 21, it doesn't mean they're not good enough to play. I really think Chris Hagart's done really well this year. I think he's going to be a solid player.
Yeah, for sure. I think so too. I think one of the benefits that we can give this team, right, is they're 3 wins in a row right now, right? Like, I wasn't expecting 3 wins off the bounce, if I was being honest with you. And that's created a lot of positive momentum. A big win against NYCFC. We defeated the defending champions of the U.S. Open Cup with a makeshift back 4, right? We just went to Atlanta and got a great result, right? So I think also, Brian, talk to me about the importance of this positive momentum that this group is building. Outside of, there's just, it doesn't seem like we're ever going to have a regular season with Charlotte. Something's always going to happen that we're just going to be like, all right, in spite of this, in spite of that, right? But the team is building positive momentum, which I like,
Yeah, I think the players have always been bought in. At least, I mean, they've preached the same message really since even during that initial losing streak at the beginning of the year. They've been preaching patience. It's working. We believe in each other. We believe in what we're doing. And so I think as the players, as a team, from what Latanzio has said since day one, they have belief in what they're doing. And I think this that coming into fruition a little bit. I had my doubts, especially after the DC game. I was really down after that one. Like losing 3-0 to DC again. I was like pretty bummed about that one. But I mean, they turned a corner and got some results. And like that's all you can really ask for is like during these stretches when you don't have all the key players, can you grind out results? I mean, I think that's especially on the road, and that's what they've been doing really a lot this season is getting points early. They already probably are almost, I haven't calculated it out, but they've got to be close to matching their whole season total on away points already this year compared to last year. So like, just being able to accomplish some of those things. And so
that doesn't even
I think
come
that's
to mind
really,
for me anymore, right? It's the away games. Like to me, it's like I don't think that's a thing anymore. I think we brushed that off of our backs.
Yeah. And that's growth, right? I mean, that's one element of growth that this team has definitely made. And I think now can they overcome, because I think the other big question that I have with this team right now is it seems like they show up in big moments that we don't maybe necessarily expect them to, like the Columbus game, or like last season against Philadelphia, right? They showed up in big games like, wow, we just beat Philly 4-0, things like that maybe we don't expect quite as much. But then in these games, we're like, we're going to play RSL after they just came off of 2 straight 4-0 losses, and we're going to like kick their ass. And then we like bottom out, right? And so like I think that's what Chicago for me represents is like, can they show up in a moment where it's like, hey, this is a game that's teed up for you. Take it down.
I don't know. Chicago though, man. Chicago's doing well. They're on a bit of a run too.
Yeah, but they just fired their coach. Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, they
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, David, talk to us a little bit about that too, because I'm 100% with Brian. Like, it feels like okay, like we're gonna go into these stretch NYFC, Atlanta. I don't know what's gonna happen, right? And then we get wins, and you feel like you start to believe again. But then, like, it doesn't shock me if we go and lose to Chicago because it feels like something that Charlotte would do. Do you feel the same feelings? And if you do, how does Charlotte change that?
Hopefully you didn't bring bad juju on us by saying that, because I want to say we're going to win this game against Chicago. But, I mean, it's the MLS. You never know. These are two teams going on a positive rise right now that it could go any way, honestly.
For sure. And then I think another player that we need to highlight, and then I want to hear from everybody in the comments section too, maybe some unsung heroes. I don't think this is an unsung hero, but I really like the form that Swiderski has been in the last couple of games as well, man. I mean, one of the things that we talked about when we were going through this negative stretch is, right, like when we start seeing a better version of Charlotte FC, it's because we're seeing a better version of Karol Swiderski as well. And I forgot who came on the show. I think it was Antonio that said that like Swiderski's not going to show that leadership in terms of like yelling at people, but he's going to show that leadership with the way that he plays and how well he just how well he is on the field. And I got to say these last couple of games specifically for me is he's becoming more of that leader, right? I mean, the penalty he took, right? The whole crowd booing at him, right? Like it was solid. Like there was no doubt in that man's mind that he was going to miss. And I'm like, this is the stuff that we need to see, especially if you're our highest paid player and the most technical player that we have on this pitch. Lee?
Yeah, I mean, the only problem I really have with Karol has always just been that he goes in spurts, right? He'll have 2 or 3 games where he's doing really well, and then he'll just drop off for 2 or 3 games, 4 games. So he can stay consistent. I mean, I guess the good thing for us is he's been with the team longer and not having to be called up for international duty and that sort of thing. And I'm not aware of much going on this summer either, right, in regards to international games either. So hopefully he can just keep on with this run. And man, I really just want to see him and Enzo just gel and really like enjoy playing together. And because I think once that clicks, it's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, man, I think so too. I think I'm more confident in the forward line that we have this year, David. I don't know about you, than we did last year. Because I mean, like now we have Miram added to the mix, right? Like we forgot about Vargas, right? Just because of how good this man was on that wing and how technical he is, right? And so I'm like, we have a informed Yazviak. Unfortunately, we'll be missing him for a couple of weeks, right? But we have Miram up top. We've got Copetti coming back into this squad. You know, you've got guys like Vargas, McKenzie too. Even though everybody slates him, he had an assist last game as well, right? So, I mean, we're talking about the team being thin, but even with that, I still feel like we have good pieces to push through these next. I mean, the games are coming in quick and fast. You've got Chicago tomorrow. You've got Nashville. Then you travel to Birmingham. Then you play again that next Saturday. Then I think we play Philly on the 31st, right? So, I mean, we're going to need some positive results going in. And so talk to me about what you've seen from this forward line.
I've been liking what I've seen because, like you said, we forgot about Kerwin Vargas, but that's a man who was in form and now just got replaced by Justin Miram. It's crazy to see. We have a little bit of a battle between the wingers up top, and that's a good thing because we have not so much depth in other places, but we do have that depth within our wingers. I love seeing Mackenzie Gaines as a super sub. That speed, he killed Atlanta with that speed coming on. Nobody could keep up with Gaines this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I also want to highlight too, I forgot earlier, is what Mara mentioned in the press conference for us as well, right? That David, you interviewed him right when he came to Charlotte, and after that defeat in DC. To be honest, this man sounded like he didn't want to be here. And we were right. He did not want to be here, if we're being completely honest, right? And he mentioned that in the press conference that, his transfer really came out of the blue for him. And you know what? He thanked the staff, the players, the front office for really embracing him into the squad, right? And making him feel important right away. And I think that's something that shouldn't go unnoticed. Why? Because this is something that we've complained a lot about. At least I have. I'm like, I feel like there's a lot of disconnection in this squad, right? And to hear things like that, right? I'm not going to say that that things are perfect now, but that is a very, very positive sign, right? Like if you want good results, you also need to have a good locker room, and hopefully we continue to see things like that, right, Brian?
Yeah, for sure. I think, I've been really impressed with Miro specifically. I think it highlights sort of what Latanzio had been saying during the poorer stretch of form about wanting some of these veterans back and really needing some. Obviously, Miram wasn't on the team at the time, but Westwood and Kalina coming back, I think Westwood specifically really has provided a jolt of just creativity and energy as well in that midfield. And then Miram as well, just with that composure right out of the gate. So obviously, I think at the time, maybe when they signed him, they were feeling a little bit desperate for some help in the attack, and making him feel comfortable quickly, I mean, has paid dividends. So and he's been fantastic. I think the one thing that was really funny for me, and I didn't get to touch on this because I wasn't in during the Atlanta game, was how often he apologized to the Atlanta supporters while he was just scoring goals on them, just constantly saying, I'm sorry. So it's I don't know. He's got a fun personality too.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, RIP to being an Atlanta fan the last 2 weeks. I mean, Joseph Martinez cooked you and scored a double on you, right? And you lost.
That's typically how it goes, though, right? An ex-player always comes back and just puts that dagger right in you, man. It's just, it's par for the course, man. At least for the teams I support, you just know when an ex-player shows up, they could be on the shittiest run of their career, but they're going to put a couple by you, man, and they're just going to show up for some reason. It's you couldn't even show up when you played here. and now like you show up like when you play against us. So, I mean, class act to him for not celebrating, 2 great goals too.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And then I also want to quickly touch on Nashville as well. I know like we're playing them Saturday, but to me also this game comes at a very tricky situation as well because you got to think 3 days later we travel to Birmingham to play in the U.S. Open Cup. So like, would you guys mind if, and I want to hear from everybody in the comment section as well, if there was like a makeshift lineup this Saturday? I don't want to say you want to give up the game, but would you be thinking more about the Birmingham game, or would you be thinking more about the Nashville, or you just putting everything you got? Lee, you were nodding your head.
Yeah, I mean, I would go all out strong squad against Nashville. Just looking at our schedule, right? Once we go to Birmingham, we actually have 4 games on the road, right? We play Birmingham, LA, Philly, and then Columbus. I mean, that's a big stretch. Birmingham, I feel like we got lucky getting them in the draw. We could play definitely a weaker squad where we don't have to have our starters in there. We could have played Miami or somebody else, right? And it could have just been a lot worse. So personally, I would focus on the league, and then just, mix and match those fringe players against Birmingham because we've already played them in the preseason. We know what they're about. Not much, right? I think
you're right, but I mean, if they've made it this far, they've done something right.
Yeah,
right.
That's the beauty of a cup, right? I mean, all it takes is one game, right? I mean, not to knock these lower teams, right? But I guess when they come up, people always play up to your opposition versus playing. Well, a lot of teams play down too. But my point is I think, especially how tight the league is, the league needs to be one of the main focus. And then I would play a mixed squad for Birmingham, and then away to LA. LA struggling. We could go out there and actually show up again and get another 3 points on the road, man. And then obviously that Philly and that Columbus game is going to be pretty tough. But I think Nashville.
Let me ask you this: if you got 6 points off of these next 2 games, and then you put a makeshift squad in Birmingham and you lose, would you be okay?
Yeah.
Really getting knocked out?
I know. Anytime we lose, I'm not okay, right? But I'm just trying to think this through, right? There's potentially 9 points that we could get in the league, and again, with it being this tight, and it's not just us that's on the run; it's everybody around us has also been on the run. So, it could be completely flipped. We could be sitting down there at the bottom with the Red Bulls and those likes, right? But MLS is just a different character when it comes to parity.
Brian left early, just like the ATL fans.
Yeah. Hey, goodbye. Right. So
nice, that's funny.
I'm pretty sure we'll win tomorrow. Nashville, we have to beat Nashville just because I feel like that's a little bit of a rivalry game. Plus, again, it's an MLS game. Birmingham, if I'm Latanzio, I'm putting in some of the fringe players, starting like the Chris Hagarts and those kind of guys. And then LA, put a strong squad out against LA. I think we should beat LA out there. Then Philadelphia. Philly's always Philly, right? So
yeah. I don't know. I gotta disagree with you. I would put some sort of makeshift lineup against Nashville. Because at the end of the day, it's still MLS.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
It was doom and gloom 3 weeks ago. We went on a run and we're right in the mix.
We all knew what was going to happen.
Exactly what MLS is like. Yeah. All you need is a good run of games, and you're right back in it. And
that's the same for any
we
sport
or
any league. Like any good run will get you up there. I don't know.
You can't win a league.
Me personally, I would love. Of course, I want us to go far in the U.S. Open Cup. I seriously just think we could play a weaker team against Birmingham and get out and come through with some points, or come through with the win there and advance to the next round. And then we can go out to LA, spank LA, and then come back to the East Coast and struggle against.
Bro, we get 3 points against Chicago tomorrow. I'm throwing a makeshift lineup against Nashville, and I'm prioritizing that game because I would rather go deep in the Open Cup and get a chance to win.
You don't think
still in the mix for a playoff.
Somebody mute this guy.
9 out of 15 teams qualify to the playoff.
Okay.
You can be mid and make playoffs.
That's fine.
So why
That's
not?
fine.
You can sacrifice one game.
That's fine. Sacrifice one game.
One
Right.
game.
You shouldn't sacrifice any games.
Right,
Right?
but
I just
look
think
at the squad
I
that
just
we
think
have right now.
Jorge
Look at the squad
Gonzalez.
that we have now. We're missing Yazviak, we're missing Vargas,
Exactly.
Nuno and Andre gone, right? Melo, you know, he's having beef with
He's
Latanta.
Sarmenti.
No Vargas, right? We're depleted. No Corujo, no Toloma. Milanda's barely coming back, right?
I thought Toloma was coming back.
He's coming back, right? David, my man.
You just
which side are you on? Which
I
side
am
are
not
you
done
on?
yet with my point, Jorge.
All right, go ahead. Tell
My
us
point
why you
is,
want
I think
tell
we
us
could
why
put
you
out
want us to be like Spurs and not win trophies.
See, why we got to go there? Why we got to go there? Why we got to go there? Huh? That's messed up, man.
You said I don't want to win a trophy.
I did not say that at all. I did not say that. My point is we could go out and get these 6 points against Chicago and Nashville, play a weaker squad against Birmingham and still win, and then go out to LA and pick up another 3 points. That's it. That's my point. I think we can win the next 3 games.
Thank you, Ben.
Next 4 games.
He has Spurs mentality.
Oh man, y'all ain't never gonna. Oh yeah, that's right. London is blue. Hell, y'all spent $600 million and can't even get in the top 10. So don't even come at me with that shit, Brian. Get out of here with that mess. Where do you find these people at, Jorge? Jesus.
No comment. No
David,
comment.
what side are you on,
That's
man?
it. I need to.
Would you do a makeshift Nashville? You putting the whole squad out there? What do you doing?
I say throw the whole squad out there, man. We can't drop form. It's all about form. If we lose, we lose it, man. We got to keep that momentum going, especially if we want to make it far into the Open Cup. We got to keep that momentum going. We can't have a roller coaster of a ride in the MLS and then have such a great rise. We have to dominate within both. We need to see a thing change with Charlotte. We can't be a mid team making playoffs. We need to be a good team making playoffs.
I get what you guys are saying, but you
I don't
also
think you
have
do.
to understand that we have a very limited squad right now.
No, man, that's that Klopp mentality. Oh, they put 11 players out on the field. Yeah, whatever. They wore red this week when we're supposed to wear red.
This is what I want. I want to see the team win a trophy, and I want to see them make a playoff. If that means I have to sacrifice one game in MLS and throw a makeshift team out there, go deeper into that U.S. Open Cup with a better squad, a full-strength squad, like Lattanzio has been doing from the beginning, right? He's been doing it from the beginning, and he's been losing players because of it. We lost Toloma because of that. We lost Yazviak because of that. Don't forget.
When did we lose our players because of that? When did we lose our players because of that? That's what I'm saying. So we want to bench some of our starters in the Open Cup.
Exactly, to win the game.
Yeah, we want to bench some players in the Open Cup, so we're going to put them out against Nashville.
Who says that tomorrow we don't lose players? Who says that Saturday we don't lose players?
You brought up that we lost players. That was your point.
Thank you, Carl. Klopp's got trophies, though. Exactly.
Yeah. Let's go there. Let's go there because we're losing the argument about the team. I call bullshit. I'm saying go full steam in the MLS, rest our starters against Birmingham, because we could beat Birmingham with the Chris Haygarts and those guys, man, and the Diops and that. We can beat Birmingham. We can beat Birmingham with those.
Why would you want to risk it when you have a golden opportunity?
What are we risking?
You have a golden opportunity to go deeper. You have an opportunity to
like you were just saying, we start our starters against Birmingham and they get hurt. You know, it's a good break for them. Let their muscles relax or repair and all that other crap that they go through the, physical therapy and all that, whatever they do to like get prepped for the next game. I'm simply saying is I think Birmingham we were lucky to get Birmingham in the cup, because we can definitely pull those starters out, our main characters out of the game, let them rest. We could put them on the bench. And if they want to, if we need them, bring them in the 60th, 70th minute. But I just don't think we need to. I'm saying go all in for the league, rest them for Birmingham, come back.
You guys don't want to win trophies this year. I get it. Okay, perfect. Moving on.
Tell Manny to scoot back over.
That's it.
How's his chicken, man? How's his chicken?
Cisco.
Oh, that's Cisco.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to get into the shot.
Bro, you definitely in the shot now.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right. That was good. I like that. That was a good little.
Yeah, like Tanner says, there's other like why are we throwing all our eggs into this one basket of the US Open Cup, right?
I'm not. Listen, all I'm saying is you have to win these games.
Exactly. And we
It's a
can
one
beat
knockout
Birmingham
game.
without our starters.
You don't have to win every MLS game. You have to win every game to make the cup final. Is that not true?
Like David was saying, though, you don't break the momentum, man. You keep the flow going. You keep winning. You want to win every single game. It doesn't matter. You don't throw a game. We're talking about throwing games now. What, you got money on Nashville against Charlotte, man? Yeah, what are you doing? That's it, man. Top Ben, you heard it on Tap Ben's own show. He wants us to throw the game against Nashville.
I'm saying to rotate the squad.
Yeah, let's do it at Birmingham.
No, you do
Why
it
not?
against Nashville.
Why not? Go ahead, David.
We saw a makeshift lineup with the Open Cup facing Orlando, so I think we'll see the same with Latanzio going into the Open Cup. We'll go full force in the MLFs because we don't want to drop. We don't want to drop form, man. That's the biggest thing. We don't want to drop form.
You don't want to drop form, but if your squad, if everybody has momentum, right, then the players that you put in and you make shift the squad, they should still be able to grind out a result, right?
Which they will do against Birmingham. That's my exact point.
No.
That's my point. That is the weaker
more
team that you're going to put the weaker team out against.
You want certainties in certain
Yeah,
games.
you know, Top Ben works for the club. Top Ben is a mouthpiece for Charlotte FC, everybody.
I'm telling you, I want to win a trophy. You guys are saying you don't want to win trophies.
So
that's all I'm hearing.
When did we say that? When the hell did we say that? You see this shit, David? This is it, man.
All I'm saying is I feel
you ain't
better.
coming on that show tomorrow night, Jorge.
Listen, you guys are used to your team being in
I'm with David, man. I'm with David.
in a negative run, right? Look, I'm thinking of winning trophies like Barcelona. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, let's cook the books.
Barcelona don't take breaks, man. They keep that momentum going.
But they know how to rotate their squad.
And that's what I'm saying. Rotate at the Birmingham game.
Yes. No, you rotate against Nashville.
Why? Why?
Because if you lose against Nashville, nothing really happens.
Okay, so we put a full squad out against. We put a whole squad out against Nashville.
The losses magnify differently.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I am not buying it. No, Jorge, I'm not buying it, man. I'm gonna shake my fist in rage at you right now. I am not buying it.
Thank you, Benny.
Oh, get out of here, Benny, man. Everybody.
This is a smart man right here. Hosting a quarterfinal in the U.S. Open Cup goes way further for fans and team morale than any MLS win. Yes,
serious question. Do you think we could beat Birmingham with a weakened squad, meaning like our fringe players?
Yes, but I don't want to risk.
So then Carl's comment makes no sense because we're going to qualify anyways.
Okay, why would you want to lower your chances, right? You want the best possibility to win a game, right?
Exactly.
I'm just saying
exactly. So we're going to put our best team out that we can against Nashville, and we're going to put our fringe players out against Birmingham. Perfect sense. I need to play Football Manager more often or something, man. You're smoking something. What are you on up there, man?
You're out. You lose against Nashville. You're still in the mix to make
not hearing it. No, I'm not hearing it. No, I'm not hearing it. Not hearing it.
All right. Top bin 90 minus 90 right now.
Thank you, Tanner. Yeah. See.
All right. Moving on. Oh, I want to touch briefly on the player's salary. Is there anything that we can read into that? Right. I mean, I was surprised by like some players making some money. Right. I was really surprised that Enzo's only on $1 million. Right. So he's making less than Camille and Carroll, my bad. So anyone else jump out to you guys or anything that sticks out to you guys about salaries? I really think it's like,
I
don't know. Like,
knew that.
It feels kind of weird, like knowing what players make. You know what I'm saying?
You know what the president makes?
Okay. Do we really though?
Oh, I mean, what the president's salary is.
Yeah.
No, I mean, nobody really jumps out. I mean, again, there's some question. I mean, some of the players are on salaries that they got last year or before the team really started playing. So, we could only go off of how they performed beforehand, right? I guess it's good to see that Bronico got a little bump, right? And Jalen got a bump. I think they deserved that from where they were. Capetti, $1 million is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Should we buy him down, right?
My only thing though with that, and David, I'll let you go after, is if our highest paid player is at 2.2 mil, and we paid whatever 6-7 million for Copetti, he's only on 1 million. That lets me know it'll be very difficult in the future to get the likes of a Antoine Griezmann or like a superstar-esque kind of player to come here for such a low wage. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get look at what Chicharito makes and these other guys, right? Like, I don't see Charlotte paying 4, 5, 6, 7 million annual salary to any player, right? So that to me lets me know that it's very hard to expect a caliber player like that to ever come to Charlotte FC.
It's probably gonna be a long time from now because we still got to grow. We got to grow first before we can do that, because like you said, we can't be spending that much money and not be paying the players what they deserve to get played. Plus, they don't have endorsements because the MLS takes over all that stuff. So it'll be a while before we see that.
For sure. Okay.
It kind of sucks because Tepper will throw some money on some washed up quarterbacks, but he won't throw them on a striker, right?
Did he pay that?
We got Bryce Young.
But we're still paying for the 3 or 4 quarterbacks that played with us 6 years ago, man.
Hey, man, I know we
Come on,
got
Tepper, get the checkbook out, man.
But you can't poop on Alabama, bro. Roll Tide, baby. I'm with Bryce Young on that one.
Oh, I'm not pooping on Alabama.
Listen, I don't even think it's about what's in the seat. It's will you ever pay a bag, right? And you know what? Like, if we could get Antoine Griezmann to come to Charlotte, you telling me that you wouldn't pay him $6 million a year to get him here?
No, because I can't afford it. But Tepper probably could.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Oh, you said you.
Say something works out where you can get him on a free. Like, you're not gonna give him. I don't see these guys forking out 6-7 mil annual salary for a guy like that.
Let's talk about that though, right? What positions do we really need to? Left back, center back.
Yeah, I think we need another center back. I think we need an upgrade at the 6 as well.
Yep.
Jones and Brandt have done well, but I think we could go up a level there. It's really interesting, right? Having a conversation about center attacking mid, right? Because if we do that, then where does Swiderski go? Does he go back at the 9? I don't think so, right? Because you just spent all this money on Copetti, who's supposed to be your 9, I guess long term, right? So we've seen that he's not effective on the wings. So what happens there, right? Is Swiderski that guy that you're gonna trust every season to be in that creative role? Like you said, Lee, we've seen games where he's done well, and we've seen some games where he kind of goes missing.
Yeah, I think talking about any player over $4 or $5 million for Charlotte is just wishful thinking. I think we're just going to see these sort of players, and the club's always said too, right, that we're not going to buy that superstar that's coming down off of his career or somebody that's high up in his career already. We're going to find that diamond in the rough, and we're going to develop him and sell him on. That's going to be our motto. So, it's going to be interesting to see what we do in this summer transfer window.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a hot take as well. Would you be down with that? Would you sell Swiderski and buy a center attacking mid, a proper one?
Shit, I don't know, because I don't know if Enzo's had enough time here yet to agree with that or not. Because if Enzo flops, then who's going to be up top?
Yeah,
true.
Well, once Vinny meets those metrics, hopefully.
Vinny took that Sir Minty role way too far. Dude, it's just a costume. You don't have to fill it out.
For sure. Okay, cool. And then finally, we'll get into some score predictions. What are we thinking, right? We'll start off, everybody. I want to hear everybody's score predictions. First, we'll start off with the Chicago game. And Lima, man, I'm gonna let you go first.
We're gonna lose 2-1.
Are you serious?
Yep,
It's been working for him, so hopefully,
100% it has.
hopefully,
That's why, again, it goes back to the conversation we had earlier. We're on a roll. I'll keep picking us to lose until we actually do lose, and then I can start picking real predictions. Hopefully,
Okay, all right. I guess the reverse psychology might
manifested out there. It's working, man. Shrink
right.
says it's a good thing too that I'm doing that and having fun with it.
David, what are you thinking?
I say ganamos 2-0. We win 2-0.
Nice.
Shut out.
Who scores the goals?
I think we'll see a goal from Carroll. And if Bender's out there, if he's not hurt anymore, is he hurt?
Yeah, I don't think we'll see him
I
tomorrow.
don't think.
Well, then let me switch that one up because I really liked how he played this past weekend. If not, I see another goal from Miro.
Okay, nice. Yeah, you took mine. I think we'll win 2-1 as well. I think Miriam scores again, and I think we see a Westwood goal. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Oh hell! See, that's it, man. That's the soccer gods speaking to you, Jorge.
Yeah, they're telling me. They're saying put a mixed squad against Nashville, but
Nah, chill out.
Right?
nice. Oh, we got somebody saying 3-2 Chicago.
Oh, God.
DJ hat trick. All right, y'all
He's
get
sipping on something.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. And then your score predictions for the Nashville game.
We're gonna lose 2-1.
No, Nashville. I think that one's gonna be a closer game. I think we win that one 2-1.
Okay, nice. Yeah, Nashville. And everybody, I want to hear your score predictions for that one as well. I think we draw that game with the makeshift lineup that we go with because Latanza is going to listen to me.
What if he wants to keep his job?
Oh, he's in the mix already.
Oh, man, that man's turning around. I've been DMing him on Instagram.
Thank you, Tristan. Jorge's rotated squad absolutely stomps on them. Nashville loses.
Some
1.
people, the blind follow the blind being.
How was
led
that
by the
blind?
blind.
All right, we're not going to go back.
We're gonna FaceTime after the show, damn it, and we're gonna bang this out, man.
Yeah.
Or we're gonna have an extended version on Jorge's what's it, Patron.
Rolando said you don't like Latanzio at all. You want to lose all the games. All right. With that, what?
All right, none.
Dang, if Jorge picks the lineup, we lose 2-1 with a. Come on, boys.
See? That's it, man.
All right. Awesome. With that, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Lima, man, where can we find you?
You can find us on all the socials, right? At CLTFC Fan TV. No live show, obviously, tomorrow night because of the game. Find us after the game outside the supporters entrance where we get the fan interviews. And yeah, man, appreciate you having me as always. And hit the sub, like, and all that stuff for Top Bin, and go over to our channel too and do the same thing.
Thank you. David, my man, where can we find you at, bro?
You can find us on Instagram at CLTFC Yeti Clan. Also on YouTube at CLTFC Yeti Clan. We'll have a match day vlog for you ready tomorrow morning about our trip in Atlanta. You don't want to miss that one because it's super good. Your boy Top Bin is in it, you know. Lee's in it a little bit too. You already know. It's great weekend, so you don't want to miss that one.
Don't put any of the rated R stuff in there. Just the PG-13. Okay?
That's the stuff you keep in the download, and then you bring it out of the folder later and hit him up for some Top Bin money.
We put the stuff you want to see in there.
All right, great.
That's right.
Great. Nice. And as you guys know, follow us at Top Bin 90 on all our socials. Real Top Bin 90 on TikTok. But I got the password to my old TikTok, so I'm gonna delete it, and that's gonna change to Top Bin 90 soon as well. So I'm hype about that as well. Guys, with that, it has been a great show tonight. Thank you guys for joining us on another episode of MLS Corner. And remember, mixed squad against Nashville.
No, we don't.